he said should be supported. The Vice President and Chairperson of the National Security Council, Dr. Aissatou Saidi, has presided over the handing over of 3 high-speed naval boats by the Taiwanese government to the country's Navy. Among a host of the initiatives advancing maritime security and safety, the naval services continue to benefit considerably from the viable partnership between the countries. Our Ibrahim Ajata takes a look at the newest episode connecting strategic development affiliates.
A colorful and sparkling naval exhibition engagingly conveying the effect of a reinforced partnership between great friends with immense ceremony. Handing over 3 new high-speed boats to the Gambian Navy, the Taiwanese government is invigorating what is really a strong relationship with the Gambia, bringing huge benefits to national endeavors.
His Excellency, the President, in recognizing the significance of maritime security in his development agenda, continues to equip the Gambian Navy with the necessary wherewithal to enable us execute our duties, roles and responsibilities effectively and efficiently at all times. We are therefore cognizant of the fact that it is incumbent on us to holistically adhere to the norms and values of military discipline, and also to maintain and sustain the maintenance schedules and vessel operational procedures for our vessels and our equipment to ensure their durability so they can serve the purposes they were allocated to the Navy to contribute effectively to the national development agenda.
Dawning at a critical moment when maritime safety crowns sub-regional security programs in the face of emerging transnational threats, the provision of high-speed vessels answers a vital need for increased protection of territorial waters amid a host of perils underlined by Naval Chief Madani Senghor as he expressed profuse appreciation to the Taiwanese mission for a well-timed intervention.
These threats, such as piracy, narcotic drug trafficking, illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing, human trafficking, illegal migration by boats, the smuggling of contraband goods in the maritime environment, continues to affect the security and stability of the sub-region. The economies of most of the sub-regional states are heavily dependent on the maritime domain for the promotion of economic, social, and cultural opportunities for development and prosperity.
In the development of a nation's welfare, security takes the greatest priority according to the Taiwanese ambassador Samuel Chen, who emphasized that the absence of security means no viable economic progress and zero stability.
Defending the territorial integrity of the Gambia and creating a stable and a viable economic environment promotes national development and economic growth. The Gambia has a coastline of 80 kilometers. Its maritime does not cover a vast area, but it is very important to hold midway of ships in Atlantic Ocean from Europe to Guinea Gulf, even to Southern Africa. The Gambian Navy is responsible for the maritime security of the Gambia, and their role includes fight against illegal immigration and illegal drug and human trafficking.
A focused mutual partnership of exceptional nature, the relation between Taiwan and the Gambia has been constantly growing on a firm pedestal and has seen practical answers to critical national needs and endeavors. From resource provision to capacity enhancement, the drive, especially in the security terrain, has been one of strategic programs boosting efficacy, service delivery, and expertise.
We would all agree that within the framework agreement of our cooperation, exemplified, of course, by the excellent bilateral relations, which is predicated strongly on the mutual trust as well as respect for one another, the Republic of China on Taiwan continues to demonstrate, as always, its unwavering commitment, and particularly in complementing the development efforts and priorities and needs of the Gambia. This auspicious occasion we are witnessing today is, of course, the presentation of the 3 high-speed boats to the government of the Gambia for the Gambian Navy. And it's one of the most important and many other programs that have been extended to the Gambia by the Republic of China, Taiwan. And we'll all recognize, of course, the numerous assistance to the Gambia by Taiwan. And this is once again an example of this commitment.
Here, Vice President Jai Siri expounds on the sweeping benefits set to be derived from this colossal presentation.
First, we will all agree that the assistance will surely enhance the capacity of the Gambia Armed Forces in meeting its constitutional obligations and responsibility, particularly in the maintenance of peace and security. And secondly, it would also help in the ongoing efforts in capacity building, infrastructural development, and agricultural activities within the defense sector. And finally, the assistance will specifically strengthen maritime security.
Safeguarding national territory, which includes maritime fortification, has constantly been a key priority of the Jammeh administration, which is clearly cognizant of emerging threats in marine exploitation, as well as attacks on carriers and shipping vessels happening in increasingly volatile sub-regional waters. Amid the growing peril of piracy and a sophisticated narcotics trade, complacency in territorial safety is the last thing on the government's agenda. Grts.
A potential environmental catastrophe has been averted following a massive oil spill at the Yalitenda ferry crossing. The spill occurred after a Senegalese registered fuel tanker ruptured after hitting the ramp whilst disembarking. But as we hear in this report by Momodou Diallo, the authorities responded swiftly to contain and clear the spill.
Crossing at Yalitenda was the scene of a massive oil spill when the Senegalese registered oil tanker ruptured whilst disembarking from the Farafenni ferry. The collision left a gaping hole under the tanker, sending over 30,000 liters of oil into the surrounding area.
This was on Saturday. We understand it was the last ferry crossing from the Bambatenda side towards Yalitenda. So this was the last ferry when the accident happened. As you can see, the tanker is behind. It's a 37,000 liter net capacity tanker.
The initial response from the concerned authorities was swift, as officials of the National Disaster Management Agency, the National Environment Agency, the Gambia Ports Authority and security forces responded to contain the spill.
We get the information from NEA and then through our coordinator on the ground at the LRR, and then also with the help of the governor of LRR, they were able to mobilize the soldiers and the police, the fire service, and also the ports. You see, everybody was involved. In fact, I have to thank the corporate company who are very grateful to us, giving us all these facilities, the sun, and then the soldiers who were working tirelessly, throughout the whole period. And today, we thank God that, what we fear has already been contained.
A massive mobilization of resources and personnel ensued as elements of the Gambia National Army, the police and fire and rescue services deployed to clean up the area and prevent further spreading into the river.
As you can see, we've tried to scoop the oil first with water into these containers, then separate the oil into separate containers. So what we have, these things will be stored. We hope we'll dispose of them in the right manner, because we have companies here that use them. So that's not an issue. So the next thing is to clean this area. So that's why we have the sand. We have the sand. So we'll cover this thing with sand, and then there will be this heavy equipment that will come and pile it together. Again, this is clean sand mixed with oil. It can still be used for other construction purposes.
NDMA are the lead agency in all the operation here. We, as the disaster agency, we are here to coordinate, to provide materials, wheelbarrows, as you can see, and spade, and rain boot, raincoats. These are some of the equipment that are provided by NDMA to do the cleanup exercise here at Yalitenda. Okay.
The spill is the worst incident to hit the ferry crossing and had the potential to cause a massive ecological disaster. The impact of this oil spill on the environment is already apparent. Dozens of sea animals and fish have been washed ashore by the waves, and this could have serious implications on the local fishing industry. The truck is grounded for now, whilst the driver is helping the authorities in their investigation.